What's up guys, Justin here with the RenderingEssentials.com, back with another Lumion rendering tutorial for you. So in today's video we're going to talk about Lumion's rendering export settings and how you can use them to create more realistic renderings inside of Lumion. So let's go ahead and just jump into it. So in this video I specifically want to focus on using the settings inside of Lumion's photo mode to create realistic renderings. So giving you an idea kind of what's available and also how to apply those settings to get a realistic image. So to look at our settings, what we're going to do is we're going to use the beach house example model inside of Lumion. And you can find that just by going into examples and clicking on beach house. And that way you can follow along as we go and kind of test this for yourself. So when we first pull up Lumion, it's going to look something like this. So you're going to have your models in here, you're going to have all your different trees and other things like that. And what we want to do is we want to create a photorealistic rendering or a photo from this scene. And so in order to do that, we're going to go over and we're going to get out of build mode and we're going to get into photo mode. So photo mode is going to be where we're going to set up our views and apply our styles in order to create a photorealistic rendering. And so when we first open this up, you can look at this and you can see how you've got a few different areas in here. So you've got a window over here where you can kind of fly around your model using the arrow keys and by holding your right mouse button in order to look around. Very similar to build mode. You have a stack over here of different effects that are being applied to this image, and all of these can be edited and adjusted based on different settings and things like that. So you can adjust all of these, and then down here you have your different photos saved in here. And you'll notice since we're inside of a Lumion example model, you can actually click between these different photos. So you can save different views with different settings in order to create the effects that you're looking for. And so what I want to do in this particular case is I want to create my own new photo. And so for each one of these, what you're going to notice is they have a camera view associated with them, and then they also have a series of effects associated with them. And you'll notice for each one of these, this effect stack is different. So each one of these has a different set of effects, creating a different style of view inside of your rendering. And so what I want to do is I want to create my own view by flying around in here and finding a new angle. So in this particular situation, I think what I want to do is I just want to fly around until we get a view that's kind of the front view of our building. And we'll go ahead and we'll do something like this for right now. Notice that you can adjust your camera focal length in order to get more or less inside of your shot. Be careful with this really wide focal length because you can get some distortion in here. But what I want to do is I kind of want to change my focal length until this kind of takes up a lot of my image, and I'll kind of set this up just something like this maybe. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and we want to create a new photo. And so the first thing we need to do is we need to save or store our camera angle. And you can do that by just mousing over one of these slots and clicking on the button for Store Camera. And so you'll notice when we do this, this saves our camera angle as a new photo in this slot. And you can take this camera, or you can take each one of these and you can rename them. So I could name this something like photo front view or something like that and hit the enter key just by clicking on this and changing the title. And then this will change up here based on that. And one other thing is if you ever want to remove a camera, you can just double click on this little trash can icon and that'll remove that. So you can add and delete different photos based on that. And one thing I want to point out is when we created our new camera view, none of the effects that were in the other views, so like this one for example is where we started, these effects did not get brought into this new photo. So what that means is we're going to have to set these up ourselves. So there's a few different ways that you can set up your different effects in order to create a different kind of image. So probably the easiest and the fastest way is just to click on this button for custom style. And so styles are combinations of different effects inside of Lumion that create different looks. So you can see how there's realistic, there's daytime, there's overcast. Each one of these, if you click on it, is going to have a different set of effects that are going to create a different look. So like for example, the realistic is going to look like this. The daytime is going to look like this. There's an overcast option that has more clouds in the sky and things like that. There's a color sketch preset if you want this to look more like a sketch than anything else. So you can see how this is a really easy way to get started. And so usually what I'll do for something like this is I'll use either the realistic or the daytime. Probably I'll go with the realistic in this case. It doesn't really matter because you're going to come in here and you're going to customize these anyway. But what I want to point out is when you selected this style, what you get is you get a number of different effects that are associated with this camera view. So you can see how there's a sharpen setting, there's a skylight, there's shadows, there's different things that have been applied inside of your image in order to make this look a certain way. And what I want to point out about this is that these are all editable, meaning you can click on one of these and you can actually adjust each one of these settings. So like for example, I could change my color temperature. All of these are adjustable. I can adjust the amount of hyperlight that's in here. All of these are adjustable once they get applied as effects inside of a photo. And so now all of these effects have been saved to this camera view. So if I click off of this and then I click back onto it, you can see how now all of these effects show up in here when I click on this. So that's one way to add effects to your camera view, is to use the styles. So another way to add effects in here that's going to be a little more time consuming, but it gives you more control, is to add all of these manually. So if I was to go back in here and just, for now, we'll go up to edit and we'll just clear all of the effects. Before, what we did is we selected a style which brings in a number of these different effects. You can also click on the FX button over here and you can add each one of these manually. So like for example, I could add a sun setting, which is going to allow me to adjust the sun height and the sun heading. Then I could come back in here and I could add a setting that allows me to adjust the shadows. So I could make these a little sharper or a little less sharp by adjusting these settings. I could also come in here and add something like clouds. So I could add a cloud setting and I could adjust this to add these clouds in here manually. And you can kind of move these around based on this setting. So you can see how instead of adding a custom set of effects using the styles, you can also add these in here manually. And so what that's going to allow us to do is that's going to give us a lot more control over the way that our image is going to look. So you could also create those camera settings that way. So that's another way to do this. You can also copy paste settings between different photos. So like for example, if you really like the settings in this interior style one, what you could do is you could click on this in order to get to the effects stack inside of this one, and you can actually go up to menu, edit, copy effects. And then we'll go ahead and clear the effects on this one, but you can come back into menu, click on edit, and you can click on paste effects. So you can actually paste that effect between one photo and another photo. That's a good way to kind of transfer settings between photos inside of Lumion. So if you have something that you like inside of this model that you want to copy paste over, you can do that way. And then the third way that you can add effects is you can actually save and load different presets. So like for example, let's say that I really like this interior style 1 preset. So I could click on this and then I could go up here and I could go to File, Save Effects. And then I would recommend creating a folder for your different presets that you like. So like I have a folder in here and I've actually saved some of the presets in the example models, as well as one that I've created in a video that I'll link to down below. But you can come in here and you can save these inside of this folder. And then you can go up here and for a certain view, like for example my front view, I can do a File, Load Effects, and I can actually load that effects file from that previous view into this view in order to quickly get back to those presets that I really like. So you can create a library of effects that you like inside of Lumion for quick access later, which is one of the more powerful things about Lumion. And so I don't want to get too far into the actual individual effects, each one of these inside of Lumion, just because that's really in depth, and each one of these could probably have its own video, and I'm actually creating a playlist about the different effects that I will link to in the notes down below, as well as a video about creating your first photorealistic preset inside of Lumion. So that should be good to get you started. But what I want to talk about now is I want to talk about how to render your photos. So once you have your effects set up kind of the way that you want them, you're going to want to render them. And when you render them, what that's going to do is that's going to come in here and that's going to more realistically simulate the way that the light is being affected and the way that your image looks in order to get you that kind of final nice rendering in here. So in order to do that, we're just going to come down here and we're going to click on the Render Photos button. The Render Photos button is going to give us the options for actually exporting our rendering to an image. So when you first pull this up, you're going to have two different tabs. You're going to have a current shot and you're going to have a photo set. The photo set is going to allow you to adjust or select multiple different images so that you can export multiple images at once if you want to do that. I don't necessarily want to do that for this video, but that option is in here if you want to export all of your views at once. Note that if you do that, that's going to take a lot longer than if you just export one image. But for this exercise, what I want to do is I want to focus on the current shot view. And so you're going to notice that you have two options in here. You have an option for additional output and you have an option for render current shot. So render current shot is pretty self-explanatory. You just select a resolution and then you set a file location and you export this. And then additional output is going to allow you to save different maps from your image, so things like lighting maps or material ID maps. These are basically used to post-process your image in a program like Photoshop. We'll talk about that more in a future video, but just note that if you select these, you're basically going to save additional images inside of your folder with these different maps. But in this case, let's say that we wanted to export this image. All we would have to do is just click on the button for the resolution that we want. You're going to pick a location for your photo and you're going to name this. So in this case, I'm going to name this test photo number 3, and I'm just going to hit the enter key to save that. And what that's going to do is that's going to come through here and that's going to render your image. So you can see how this is applying light to these different images or these different materials in order to create your realistic image. And so from here, your rendering is complete and you can click on this button to open the folder in order to open that image up. And so when I pull that up, if I double click on that image, you can see how I have my image for use wherever I want it to go. And so you can do this for as many different views as you want, and you can see how this is a really quick render based on our different presets. So that should give you a pretty good idea of how to export different renderings from inside of Lumion. I will link to a video in the notes down below about creating a photorealistic series of presets so that you have those on hand. But leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought. Was this helpful to you? Did I leave anything out? I just love having that conversation with you guys. If you like this video, please remember to click that like button down below. If you're new around here, remember to click that subscribe button for new rendering content every week. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.